Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of the Mission Matters Money Podcast, your source for all things money. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres to keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, missionmatters.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, so today I have Mike Garris on the line, and he's VP of Operations and Risk Strategy over at Oxygen Bank. Mike, welcome to the show.
Thanks so much. Appreciate the invitation, Adam.
All right, so excited to get into these topics. So we're going to talk about digital banking for freelancers. But before we do that, let's talk a little bit more about what you're doing over at Oxygen Bank. Tell us a little bit more about the bank, please.
Sure, yeah. So Oxygen is a online-only bank. So there's others out there, Simple, Chime, and so forth. So we're of that nature. We don't have physical branches, but as the population has moved to online only, Oxygen is right there to accommodate a lot of needs that make sense, and especially for a specific population, and that are self-employed folks who are freelancers, 1099 contract workers, gig workers, and we found that they have some unique needs, and our banking services aims to really fit those needs and sort of give them the right experience and treat them the way they deserve to be treated.
Man, that's awesome. I love it. And with, the whole economy, a certain portion of it moving over to the gig economy, and that obviously being a big part of all of our futures, I think it's a perfect topic. So let's switch it up. Let's get right into today's topic. So digital banking for freelancers. I mean, where do you want to start with that one?
Yeah, sure. Why don't I describe a little bit about what we do and just kind of the backstory and the type of company we are. So we're a pretty young company, maybe about 2 years old. I joined about a year ago, and we're backed in the Silicon Valley area. So we're part of the whole venture capital world. And the founder, his name is Hussein Ahmed, and he has a background, a PhD in computer science, came over to the U.S. and this is actually, he started another company before, came here, and he was working for a while as a freelancer. And one of his challenges, personally, he was making sufficient money. He had a good credit score. But when he was applying for a loan, he was actually either getting rejected, even though he was making sufficient money, or there was a lot of paperwork. And because he didn't have the regular income of a W-2 worker. And he started seeing, hey, this is an opportunity. I am not a particularly risky borrower for a bank. And yet they're making me jump through 1,000 hoops. I need to send over my tax returns for a couple of years and all of that. And it became to the point where it wasn't worth it. But then on the other hand, if he wanted to work with and consider himself a business and apply for a business loan, that wasn't quite right either because he was a freelancer. So that was sort of the genesis of the concept of creating this new digital banking experience. So Oxygen does a couple of things. One, we have an app which can be downloaded from the Apple iStore or the Google Play Store, and from that you get a bank account with a debit card and a lot of cash awards. We have virtual cards, which I can explain a little bit more. But then there's another factor, which is we have a whole other dimension to the app and to the banking service, which is creating an LLC for yourself and opening a business bank account as well. So we partner with a company called CorpNet, help navigate you through the process of actually creating an LLC for yourself. So if you're a freelancer, let's say you're work in the gig economy, or you are a independent photographer, and maybe up till now you've just been managing things as a sole proprietorship. You've not really, sort of split out your expenses with your business and your personal, so things are a little bit complex and messy. One of the main purposes of our app is to provide you with features so that you can start organizing and thinking about yourself as a business. So you can create a business account. And then down the road, we are also creating a line of credit so that you can get a loan that helps you with your working capital needs. And I know a lot of folks probably need that right now. Right now, that product is not launched, the credit product. You just have the banking features. to make it a little more personal for me, my responsibilities, I run operations as well as risk for the company, which is obviously an important function. I'm happy to talk a bit more about how I got here and some of my learnings along my kind of career journey. But I'll pause for a second, Adam, if you have any questions about what I just described or anything else about Oxygen Banking.
So Mike, so I'm glad you gave us some context in terms of the unique challenges of freelancers and and how they bank, because it is different. I mean, and a lot of people listening are probably like, oh my gosh, there's finally a company out there that I can work with. Let's talk a little bit about the response you've gotten from the users or the clients in that case, because I'm just kind of interested to hear how the user experience has been.
Yeah. So it's been really positive. So we launched and started offering our service basically in December, and in just a few months we have I'll come out and say over 20,000 actually new accounts. So the uptick has been really good. You
guys are rocking and rolling. First off, congratulations. That's not an easy feat. Congrats.
No. Yeah. So we, the need was clearly out there. I think that it's really interesting how varied it is across the country, where we're getting users to download the app and to kind of take an interest. We actually originally thought it would be concentrated in where we're located in San Francisco, and then we were doing some marketing in New York City as well. And it turns out we have folks in St. Louis, Missouri, in Jacksonville, Florida, so really across the country. And I think they just find it through their friends mentioning it. Facebook and Instagram and some of those sources have been really powerful mediums for getting the word out. And then we also partner with some freelance platforms, and these are places that freelancers are going to find their work, to get connected with interesting opportunities. And we are, for a few of these, sort of the bank of choice, or the sponsoring bank. And that's a big sign of validation and gives them confidence. Hey, I'm a little frustrated with, the bank down the street that I've been working with for the last 5 years. They're charging me fees if my balance isn't enough, or they didn't approve me for a loan, what have you. And so there's frustration with that experience. And then we're right there. And not only are we sort of a no-fee bank, but furthermore, we're targeting our communication to this specific population. And our goal is for their financial lives to be stronger and better, and kind of to meet their unique needs. And so we're just in the early stages of our journey, and we do plan to continue building out services. So there's very low cost international. Yep.
That is so exciting, Mike. No, that's exciting. I mean, I love it. I love what you're doing. I love the fact. I mean, 20,000 users since December. That's crazy. That's for everybody listening. We're in April recording this, so in 4 months. So that's absolutely amazing. So, Mike, that being said, I could talk to you about this all day long, but we're about out of time for this episode. So, if somebody's listening to this and they want more information about Oxygen, how to open an account, or just to connect with the content and figure out what you're up to, what's the best way for them to reach out and to learn more?
Yeah, sure. So they should just search for Oxygen Banking, or just Oxygen Mobile Bank on the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store. And go ahead and give us a try. There's no fee to sign up. You can play around. We'll send you a debit card, and we hope to serve your needs really well.
That's awesome. Well, Mike, really appreciate you coming on the show today and sharing more about your experience, and also all the great work you're doing over at Oxygen. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you got a lot of value out of this. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, leave me a review on the Apple iTunes Store, and if you're watching this on our YouTube channel, Mission Matters Money, definitely give that a subscribe, but also leave us some comments in the video. I mean, love to know what kind of things and projects you're working on. And Mike, thanks again for coming on the show.